For some reason, I've decided to set myself the challenge of reading an entire series this week. Hi everyone, my name's Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today for the start of a new weekly reading vlog. So the last time that I updated you at the end of my last vlog was Sunday, so I missed a day because, well, actually I haven't missed a day. I filmed a clip I was baking. I inserted a clip at the beginning, made a cake, and that is basically all I did yesterday. I made a cake whilst listening to the audiobook of Nevernight, which is what I am reading this week. I'm further in than what this says because I've just listened to some of the audiobook, but I'm coming up on 300 pages into this book so far, and I'm very, very much enjoying it. It's a series I've been wanting to read for a while. I've owned this book for a while and then just was a little bit intimidated by it, so I kept putting it off, and finally picked it up. It's on my TBR this month. It's the last book I need to read on my TBR apart from a mood read after. And I did say when I made that TBR that there's a chance that I will very much enjoy the series and want to pick up the rest of it straight after. And lo and behold, look what just arrived today. I ordered the sequels, so I now have the full Nevernight trilogy ready to go on my shelves. And yeah, I'm very much excited to sort of power through. I'm hoping I should get Nevernight finished the very latest tomorrow. I'm going to try and finish it tonight, and then got God's Grave and Dark Dawn to start, and I'm hoping that I can power through these and have them finished by the end of the weekend. Fingers crossed. At the very least I want to have them finished by the end of the month, so next Tuesday. I've got a week to do this. But yeah, that is my reading plans for the week. I'm not going to say too much else right now. I'll probably give you full thoughts on this when I finish it, which like I said should hopefully be tonight or maybe tomorrow. But all you need to know is that I'm very, very much enjoying it. It's very fast paced and I feel like it just grabbed me straight away. So yes, I will go and crack on with finishing this now. I look a little bit worse for wear, but it has definitely been a week. It is Friday, I've just finished work. I have been very bad at vlogging, as per usual. Work weeks and vlogging just do not agree with me at all. But in better news, I have actually been reading. I managed to finish Nevernight. I gave it 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the whole sort of training aspect of it. I really liked how fast paced it was. I found J. Kristof's writing style to be something that I could just fall into, which I know that from other books of his that I've read, but this is the first one I read that was just him, so I was very much enjoying it. It was, yeah, I don't even really have words for it, I just really enjoyed it. So as planned, I've now picked up God's Grave. I'm actually about 200 pages into this, and so far very much enjoying this as well. So for anyone, I don't think I've actually explained the story of Nevernight, but essentially it's about the character Mia, whose father was betrayed and then murdered, and she is trying to avenge his death, and the way that she does that is by trying to join this group of assassins called the Red Church. And the first book is all about her sort of training as an assassin at the Red Church. The second book is more about sort of, I can't really tell you too much about it actually, because it's about the aftermath of the events of the end of the first book. It's definitely a different storyline. There isn't the training stuff that there was in the first one. It is more sort of finding out more about this world and about what actually happened with her father and all of that. And so far I am very much enjoying this one as well. So I've been listening to the audiobook on the way to and from work, and I've also managed to read a fair amount of it in the evenings. And I say evening, I started it yesterday, but to say that I'm 200 pages in and I started it yesterday, I think I'm doing quite well. And now I am actually off work for the next 3 days, so I plan on finishing this one possibly tonight, to be honest, because I am listening and reading at the same time, and depending on the speed I can get it up to, I might be able to finish it tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow morning, and then I plan on starting immediately with Dark Dawn, and I will have this trilogy finished this weekend. But yes, I have no other plans, so I'm just going to read that basically. It is actually Polarform Mini Meltdown. Is that what it's called? Anyway, it's Jade's from Jade Reads readathon this weekend, and there are prompts. There are 3 prompts. It's read a book about weather, read a book featuring ice, I think, and read a book about climate change. I'm doing none of those prompts, but I do plan on using the time and sort of just it's always nice when there's a readathon, even if you're not actually doing the prompts, because everyone's kind of in that mood to all read as much as possible at the same time, and that's kind of what I'm planning on doing. I will join any sprints that are happening. I will just kind of be in the bookish community and with us all spurring each other on, but I am not taking a break from this, because if you've watched any of my recent vlogs, you'll know that I've been in a bit of a slump, and I'm feeling very unslumpy when I'm reading this. I actually really want to read them, so I'm not going to risk putting myself into another slump by reading something that I don't want to read when there's something that I really want to read that just doesn't fit the prompts. But yeah, that is my update for right now. I'll try and give you another update later, but I do need to go and eat now before I carry on reading for the evening. So I have about 100 pages left of this, and it is about 10:30. So I'm pretty sure I could get this finished before I go to sleep, which is great. I am still loving it. It's really sort of got into the story now. Found with both this one and Nevernight, they follow a similar sort of setup, or similar, like, not as in like the story itself is a similar setup, but as in how the actual story is told, it's told in a similar pattern. So they split into books within it, book 1, book 2 and book 3, I think, in each one. And book 1 is kind of 2 storylines, it's 2 timelines, and it's trying to figure out, one of them's past, one of them's present, and it's trying to figure out how one influenced the other. Then at the end of book 1, it kind of all comes together, and then book 2 is sort of seeing the actual immediate storyline, and then book 3 is the big climactic one. So I've just started book 3 in this one, which means that stuff is starting to definitely happen. There is, for anyone who doesn't know with this, I did see a conversation on Becca's Patreon actually about whether or not this was YA. It is not YA in the slightest. It's very much adult. There is definitely gore and death, and particularly in this one so far. I feel like in Nevernight, not quite so much, because a lot of it was a training book. There were definitely people who got killed along the way, but by this one, she is an assassin. Like, people are dying throughout this, and there's just been sort of a big murder scene. There were a fair few people either being killed or almost being killed, so it's all sort of kicking into high gear at the minute, and I'm very much enjoying it. And I have brought Dark Dawn downstairs. I don't think I'll be reading any of this tonight, but this is for tomorrow and Sunday. And yeah, I am determined to read this entire trilogy this weekend, and it seems like it is going to happen, and I'm very excited about that. I finished it. We're officially 37 minutes into Polar Farm. I'm going to go to sleep. But I finished it. 5 stars. I can't wait to start Dark Dawn tomorrow, because this left in a place where I need to finish the series. I feel very sorry for anyone who had to wait for the last book to be released. But yeah, I am not going to stay up at the beginning of Polar Farm. My plan is to read as much as I can tomorrow, although I do need to film. I realised that I messed up with my TBR and I miscounted some things on the rolls for Bookopoly-thon, so I've refilmed the rolls, but I need to film the little talky bits where I tell you what books I've chosen, and then I need to edit that and get it uploaded tomorrow, as well as filming something to go up next weekend. So I will be reading in between that. I feel like every second I'm not filming, I will be reading, because I need to read Dark Dawn, because I'm obsessed with this series. 5 stars to the first 2 books. Right, I'm gonna go to sleep. See you guys tomorrow. So, it is Saturday morning. I've been awake for about an hour and a half. I got up, I got dressed, I took this little thing out for a walk. It's just me and the dog again this weekend, so I have to make sure that he's fed and walked and all that stuff. He has we've also just eaten. I am now reading Dark Dawn. Well, I say now, I had listened to the audiobook while I was out taking Harry for a walk. So I am about 20 pages into this. I like that there's been an effort made to make sure that you know where you're at in the story. So basically the sort of perspective of this is that you have a narrator who is telling me a story, and it is as if somebody's actually telling you the story because they speak to the reader. They keep calling you gentle friend throughout the entire thing. And it's one of those as well where you know from the very beginning that it's not necessarily going to end well because they've warned you throughout it. This narrator, who I don't know who the narrator's supposed to be, I don't know if you're going to find that out, but yeah, they've warned you that it's not going to end well. So I'm not really prepared for this, although I suppose they've tried to prepare me. And at the beginning of this one, they've like apologised for leaving the second one on a cliffhanger and then said, shall we just catch up before we start? And then there was a whole sort of 5 pages of each character and telling you where they're at in the story, which is good because a lot of the characters from the first book were absent for the second because Mia was sent off on a sort of task to do, and in this one is going back to a lot of those characters from the first one, so it's nice to have that catch up. I mean, obviously I only read it a few days ago, so I know full well who they all are, but I can imagine that if you haven't just read it, it could get a bit confusing because there's a lot of different sort of, it's all like the tutors and things from the academy that she was training in and what they are particularly skilled in, and yeah, all of that sort of stuff. So I appreciate that that's been done. I feel like every fantasy series should have a little bit of a recap of who the characters are at the beginning, because obviously it's not like we have anything real life that we can sort of relate to with it. It's a whole different world, so it can get a little bit confusing figuring out where each person is at. And I just, yeah, I appreciate it. A random thought of the day. But I'm going to go and read this one now. As I said yesterday, I do need to do some filming stuff today. So my plan is about 8:20 now. I am going to read this till about 9, and then I'm going to go upstairs, make myself look a little bit more presentable and film a little bit. I've just figured out how much I actually need to film, which is basically the TBR stuff for today, and I then need to film 3 more videos, because the next time I actually have to sort of sit down and film a video is going to be like 2 weeks on Monday, I think, because I'm busy for the next 2 weekends. So that means that I have 4 videos due to go up in that in-between time, and one of them is this vlog, which is fine, but the other 3 need to be sorted and filmed. So I'm going to crack on with that. Hopefully I have been filmed by sort of midday, and then I can just spend the rest of the day reading, which I'm very excited about because I really need to know how this series ends. I'm prepared to be in pain, but I just need to know why it's going to be painful, but I know it will be. So just as I said that we don't know who it is that's actually narrating the story, in the next chapter we found out who it is that's narrating the story, and I really loved the way that it was sort of revealed. It was a fun sort of joke about the books themselves. It was, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. So yes, I actually do know who's telling the story now, which is good. But yeah, that's all I have to say because I've only read another chapter. I just ended up filming like a really random, rambly video, and I don't even know if I'm going to upload it, but I finished filming for the day, so I am going to go back to reading Dark Dawn. I would grab it, but it is in the middle of a pile of books because it's just been in my haul for the month. But yeah, I hauled a lot of books this month. That's what I found out. There was a big pile, but I'm done with that now. It is now 12:15. Which means that for the rest of the day, I get to read. I don't even know how many pages I am. Let me find out. Let me actually move things around. So, I can't tell you what chapter I'm up to. I'm about 85 pages into Dark Dawn now. So, I've got, trying not to see the ending. So, I've got about 440 pages left. Can I do it all today? I don't know. Probably going to finish it tomorrow morning. But I am very much enjoying this one. I've got right into it very, very quickly. So I'm going to get back to it now. I think I mentioned in every video that I filmed that I want to get back to reading this book. So I'm going to stop rambling to you guys and go back to reading. I'll see you guys in a bit. Quick break from reading. I haven't actually started reading again yet. I realised I needed to edit the video I just filmed because it was updating my TBR that I'd accidentally done wrong. But I have just had a parcel delivered, so I thought I'd open it on camera. It's from Forbidden Planet. I know exactly what it is. But here we go. This is... Oh, there's two then. I was really confused. There's the next installment of Extraordinary. So this is the comic series by B. Schwab that is set in the Villains universe. So same world as Vicious and Vengeful. And I believe it actually is in between the two, maybe. I've read the introduction because there was issue 0. There was issue 0, which was like a smaller introduction one. And then this one is issue number 3. I think there's going to be one more maybe after this. But it is coming out as a bind-up as well, and I've ordered the bind-up, but I also just really wanted the individual comics. So I have this one now. I think there's one more. Yeah, coming soon, issue number 4, and that's on sale in September. I think I've ordered that one, but I need to double check. But yeah, excited to have this one. I will read them all. I'm just possibly waiting for them all to come out, and then I'll read them in one go, which, I mean, maybe I should have just read the bind-up, but, you know, that was Harry's tail you saw behind me, by the way, a minute ago. He is not happy that I'm not paying attention to him. He has been sat outside my bedroom door while I've been filming, and I think he wants food, so I shall go and feed him now, and then I shall read. I have nothing to talk about at the minute. I just wanted to show you how beautiful my dog is. Hi. He's so handsome. He's just been fed, so he loves me at the minute. So it's a lot later. It is 11:10 in the evening. I am up to page 300 in this. I've definitely not read it as quick as I wanted to. No fault of the book. I am very much enjoying the book. It's just been one of those days where, one, I had stuff to do that took longer than I expected to, but then also when I did sit down to read, my brain just wasn't in the place to do it. I wasn't like concentrating enough, and I want to make sure that I take in this book properly because I am enjoying the series so much. Luckily, I am now at a place where I can read. So in the last hour or so, I've read about another 100 pages. I'm listening to the audiobook alongside it, like I said, and with the speed that I've got the audiobook on at the minute, I've got about 3 hours left. I've got 220 pages, and that apparently works out as about 3 hours. Which means that if I finish this tonight, I'm going to be up until 2 a.m. But, and I don't really know what to do because part of me wants to just power through it. The other part of me is worried that I will be too tired to take it in. But also I know that I don't want to put it down now. And if I go to put it down in an hour's time, I'm really not going to want to put it down because I'll be really into the end. I'm in book 3 now, so it's a final sort of section. I mentioned earlier in the vlog that they all follow a similar setup of what book 1, 2 and 3 is in the story. This one is slightly different. We didn't have the multiple timelines. It's just been this story all the way through, but it is still very much a setting up the idea of it, middle part and then final battles, and this is moving towards final battles now. So I'm probably going to end up staying up till 2, aren't I? Oh well, at least it's Sunday tomorrow, I can sleep. Right, I will report back when I'm probably at the end of this book. So it's 12:45. I was taking the dog out so that he could go to the toilet before I put him to bed. And I just carried on listening to the audiobook. And something happened, which I did not appreciate. Yeah, I am not going to sleep until I finish this book. Not happy about what's just happened. Hello. I had very little sleep last night. I stayed up until just after 2 a.m. But I finished Dark Dawn. It's another 5 stars. This is a 5-star series. I really love this series. I have been watching this morning since I woke up, actually, some older vlogs that people did when this first came out, because I kind of just wanted to, I have my opinions on it, and I kind of just wanted to see what the general consensus was. And I saw, I think it was Becca's vlog from when this first came out, saying that as a critical reader she would probably have issues with the ending, but from an emotional point of view she loved it. And I think that's kind of where I'm at as well. Like, there's definitely the very ending, like the last chapter, I can see why some people would not like it, but from just an emotional point of view, I loved it. I loved all of this. There was moments that got me a lot. There was definitely some deaths in here. It's the last one in a series and it's all about assassins. People are gonna die, so there was some sort of emotional moments to do with that. There was a lot of like small relationship moments, like friendship moments, not romantic relationships, just friendships where you sort of got to just see people enjoying each other's company, which never bodes well, because generally when those sort of scenes happen, you know, it means that someone's getting killed off in the next bit. And yeah, there was just, it was a good ending to a series. I'm glad that I read it all in one go, this series, because I don't think I'd have coped very well having to wait for it. But I'm very glad that I finally got around to reading this trilogy. All 3 of them, like I said, got 5 stars, so good reading experience. Right now though, I am going to give myself a little bit of a break from sort of intense fantasy, because there is some more of it on my TBR for September. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a calmer reading experience, hopefully. And I'm going to be picking up The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. So this is the 3rd book in a companion series. So you can read them all as standalones, but they do all link in because they are adult romances. And basically kind of like in a similar way that you've got like the Brown Sisters trilogy, where you've got 3 sisters, but each of their separate story. You've kind of got that in this. So you've got the guy in the 1st book is the cousin of the guy in the 2nd book. And also the one in the 3rd book, because it's the one from the 2nd book's brother. So they all do sort of interconnect a little bit, but you can read them completely separately. I have read the first 2 and I really enjoyed them. I flew through them really quickly, and that's what I'm hoping I'm going to do with this one. They also, as far as I know, this one will follow suit, but the first 2 featured autism representation as well. I believe that Helen Huang is actually on the autistic spectrum herself, so there is always that representation in here as well, although it's not mentioned on the back in this one. So I'm not sure if either of the main characters are on the autistic spectrum, or if it's just because the other characters are still mentioned. But like I said, I really did enjoy the first 2, so I just want something that's going to be nice and light that I can read in the next couple of days before my September reading starts. This also, by the way, is the Illumicrate Afterlight edition. So Afterlight is Illumicrate's new adult romance subscription box. It's a quarterly box, and this was the first book that came, so it has beautiful yellow sprayed edges and also has a signed book plate. It's not quite as fancy as their regular special editions, because obviously it is a new box and I think they weren't sure what sort of the demand was going to be for it. So I believe the idea is that as it gets hopefully more and more popular, they'll be able to do more and more special things with the books themselves. But I do quite like just having a paperback every so often. It's a lot easier to carry in my bag if I'm reading it out of the house, although I am not planning on really leaving the house today other than to walk my dog, which I should probably go and do now. So I will speak to you guys in a bit. Okay, so this is just a really quick clip to sort of wrap up this video, because I realised as I was editing that I never actually sort of said goodbye at the end of it. So it is now Tuesday, it's the last day of the month. I have got, how much have I got left of this? About 200 pages left of The Heart Principle to read. I am determined to finish this tonight, so that's what I'm planning on doing, literally adding this clip, uploading it and than just finishing this. I'm enjoying it so far, probably more than the Bride Test, because I wasn't a huge fan of some of the things with the storyline in that one, but not as much as Kiss Quotient. That's definitely my favourite, and I think it will still be at the end of it. But I am enjoying it. I like both of the characters in this, and I like sort of the setup. I think that was my issue with the Bride Test, is I didn't particularly love the setup of it, and I liked one of the characters more than the other. In this one I'm liking both of them, and yeah, enjoying it so far. But that is all for this reading vlog. It's been a fun one. I binged Nevernight and then picked up a romance at the end of it, and finishing my August strong. Hopefully September's going to be strong as well, because I have a lot to read in September for the readathons and things. If you want to know exactly what I'm reading, you can check out my TBR mash for September. But yes, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.